Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media, and thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to be talking with organizations today that are making a difference in your world. And tonight we're going to start out talking with Drive Oregon. And here to represent Drive Oregon, we have the program specialist, who is also an AmeriCorps member, Alexa Diaz. Thanks for being here, Alexa.
Hi, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I know nothing about Drive Oregon except the little research I've done, so I'm anxious to hear what this is all about. Is Drive Oregon actually a nonprofit organization?
Yes, so Drive Oregon is a nonprofit and a trade association, so C3 and a C6.
Okay.
And we're focused on advancing the electric vehicle industry and really just increasing awareness and the adoption of electric vehicles.
Okay. Now, you and I talked very briefly before the show, and I told you that we've had some of our staff here have had electric vehicles, or have electric vehicles, and we have a charging station in the back. I assume that's something that you encourage businesses to do, is to have electric charging stations. Mm-hmm. What? Well, tell me first of all, what are some of the things that you're trying to do? Obviously, you're raising awareness, but are there certain factions of the community that you're trying to talk to, like businesses, or are you just talking to everybody overall about the benefits of electric cars? Mm-hmm. Or tell me exactly what it is you're doing.
So all of the above.
Okay, okay.
So we are talking to stakeholders in the industry. We're encouraging employers to provide workplace charging. Mm-hmm. If you provide charging, people are more likely to get an electric car.
Most definitely.
Definitely. So if you can't charge at night at home, then you can charge at work, and that makes it easier.
Yeah.
And we're also just trying to get awareness out about the technology and how easy it is to ride an EV. So electric vehicles are also called EVs, so that might slip a few times. But yeah, so there's a lot of misconceptions with electric vehicles.
Such as?
Okay, so let's see. There are very many.
Give me a few, yeah.
So a lot of people say, or have asked me, can they go on the freeway? Are they safe? Are they, can they go fast enough?
Mm-hmm.
All of these things, and yes, they can, so they are safe. It's basically like a gas-powered car, except it's powered by electricity.
And it's much, much quieter.
They're silent. Sometimes I forget that they're on.
Well, I know the first time I got in one, and he started pulling out of the driveway, my coworker was like, wait a minute,
yes.
You didn't turn the car on, but it was on. It was incredibly quiet.
It is.
Yeah. And the fact that you don't have to fill it with gas.
Right, so you can go to work, come back, and charge your car overnight, and then be ready to go the next day and never have to see a gas station again. That's great.
Lovely. Now, so, as far as the money goes, as far as buying an electric car, I assume that they're more expensive than a regular car. Can you recover that cost with the savings you get from the gas?
Definitely. So yes, that sticker price might be a little bit more expensive, but there are rebates available and federal tax credits. Another great thing is that you're going to be saving money every month. So in Oregon, for example, an Oregon family can save over $100 a month by having an EV.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty significant.
And there is no maintenance cost. It's very little maintenance.
Really?
Pretty much you're changing the wiper fluid and rotating your car tires.
Really? Now that's interesting, because that's one of the most expensive things that I've had to deal with is just maintenance on my car.
Yeah, there's fewer moving parts, so it's a lot easier.
Huh, I like that. So I know that one of the drawbacks originally was that, or that I've heard anyway, was that the distance you could go was not that far, but that's improving. Is that right?
That's changing, yes.
Yeah.
So the technology is getting better every day. For example, the 2017 Chevy Bolt has a range of 238 miles.
So you can go 238 miles without having to charge it.
Exactly. So the executive director of Drive Oregon and the program director just made a trip up to Seattle and didn't have to charge until they got there.
Wow, that's great.
Pretty exciting.
So how common are the charging stations around Oregon? I mean, how far can you go? Are there places where you can go and you're not going to be able to get back?
Okay, that's a great question.
We have a lot of rural areas here.
Definitely, there are a lot of rural areas in Oregon, but along the I-5 from the very tip of California all the way up to Vancouver, BC, so Canada, there it's the electric West Coast Highway. And
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I always call it the I-5 corridor, but
yes.
yeah.
But it's great because there's charging stations every like 40 to 50 miles.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't necessarily mean that they're always fast chargers.
Okay, so tell me about the difference between a fast charger and
So a fast charger can charge your car in about 30 minutes. Level 2 takes longer, so maybe about 4 to 6. And then level 1, what you would do at home, you would charge your car
just
overnight.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but charging is expanding. The infrastructure is getting better. Yeah, so that's exciting.
So how, if I were to have an electric car, an EV, and I wanted to take a trip down to Southern Oregon, how would I find out where those charging stations are?
So there's this great app or website called PlugShare.
Oh, okay.
So you can go on plugshare.com or you can download the app on your phone. And so as you're doing a road trip, you can go on there and say, okay, I'm going to be here and let's see where are all the charging stations along
you
the
just
way.
kind of plan your trip that way.
Yeah, and it's crowdsourced, so people are putting in input every day. So if a charger breaks one day, then somebody can put, oh, this charger broke, so now you know you can't count on it.
Right, okay, good. And does that happen very often? I mean, are they pretty reliable for the most part, or is there a lot of maintenance that has to be done on those chargers?
I would say they're pretty reliable.
Pretty reliable.
Definitely.
Okay, because I like the idea of being able to know how far you can go, and
right.
you know what, because obviously you don't want to. It's like running out of gas, which I've done before. I would not want to do that. But if they're close, are they usually open 24 hours? Or is it just differ like gas stations?
It differs. It also differs on the price. So sometimes places offer them for free, others it's a small fee. It just depends.
But it's not going to be as much as getting a tank of gas.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're saving a lot just from that.
So at Drive Oregon, do you have events and things to let people know about what's going on, or what? Tell me a little bit about.
Yeah, so as a member, we have monthly networking events. We have a big conference coming up called EV Roadmap in June, and
who gets to go to that?
So a lot of people who are going are stakeholders, people who are interested in the industry, want to learn more about the technology, and yeah, and then as my position, I'm doing outreach quite often, and I hosted some community workshops about electric cars, and we recently had a ribbon cutting for our community electric vehicle project.
Oh, okay. So, well, tell me first. You brought some pictures, didn't you, of the ribbon cutting?
I did.
Maybe we could take a look at those, and you can tell me what we're looking at there. So, where is that office located? The office where you had the ribbon cutting?
Oh yeah, so that's at Hacienda CDC. So yes, that is a charging station, a Blink charging station, and a Honda Fit EV.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so Hacienda is located on Northeast Killingsworth and 60th. It's in the Coley neighborhood.
Right, I drive by it all the time. Drive through it almost every day. Yeah, so I know exactly where that is. Okay, so these are...
Yeah, so this is our ribbon cutting for our big project that we're super excited about. We celebrated our ribbon cutting, so the launch of the project about 3 weeks ago. We have Jessica Vega-Peterson there. We have some people from the utilities, from Hacienda, and the family in the middle, that's Francie and Jer and their daughter Leticia, and they were the first family actually to rent the cars.
So to rent the cars?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So what we're doing is we're doing an electric car share.
So is that what the community electric vehicle project is?
Exactly.
Okay. So So explain to me how does that work?
Yeah, so about a year ago, Drive Oregon was really looking for a project where we can help expand access to clean transportation, and we wanted to also increase awareness about electric cars in the process. So what we did was we kind of reached out to different organizations and got in contact with Hacienda CDC. So they're a nonprofit, affordable housing nonprofit located in Coley.
Yeah.
They're great, they're amazing. They offer so many services to their residents, and they thought that having an electric car share would be just something that the residents really could take advantage of.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's a really a good fit, no pun intended.
Yes. Yeah, so in the Coley, there is public transit, but there is no Max line directly next to it.
It's not close. I mean, it's not, you can't walk to it.
Exactly. So you'd have to take a bus, and if you want to get to this like central downtown, it's going to take you about an hour.
Yeah.
And given that public transit is getting better, and there is some bike infrastructure, but it's still a barrier.
Yeah.
And it is improving, but car sharing offers a different approach. So by being able to drive a car, even if it's just for short notice, if your car breaks down, or if you have a doctor's appointment and you don't want to, be on a bus for an hour,
or
if you have your child and you want to get some groceries.
You may not want to pop the kid on the back of the bike when it's raining or something.
Exactly.
Or wait for an hour, or if you're taking them to the doctor appointment or whatever.
School event or anything. Yeah, and we really wanted to focus on a car share with electric cars because they are such an affordable option.
Yeah.
And now that we have chargers there, charging is basically free for all of the residents who rent the cars.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So just the people that are living in that housing can rent that car, I assume?
We're trying to focus in on Hacienda residents in the Coley neighborhood, but it is open to others. We're using an app called Turo. It's a peer-to-peer car sharing app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it just helps streamline it because it offers an easy way to rent the cars and provides insurance.
Great, that's great. So what have been, how long has the program been going on?
It's very new, so that launch was about 3 weeks ago, and so it's been about 3 weeks. The process of planning has been a little bit longer.
Yeah. What about Drive Oregon itself? What have been some of the highlights of of working there, and what some just of the program itself?
Well, I guess the highlight would be this project, and since I'm the AmeriCorps member, I have the opportunity to really get out there with the community and do outreach, and just talking to people about it has been so exciting. Like I said, all of those questions about the safety and the concerns about electric cars has come from the community, and getting to meet Jer and Francie, I got to do the step-by-step process of how to create their account, doing the reservation, and then talking with them after. And they said, this was a great car for us to just use on the weekend and explore around.
Then people aren't buying another car that's going to cost them money, including the environment and all the everything that comes with driving a car, the maintenance of the roads and everything else. Just having it there for the weekends, I think that's a great idea. How's the response been to your outreach when you go out and talk to people in the community? Has it been good?
Everyone's been really excited about it. In Hacienda, they're like, this is a great opportunity. This is a great service because I've never been in an electric car, and this is giving me the opportunity to try it at an affordable cost. Yeah, and their minds are changing. So actually, one of the Hacienda staff members, so one of the cars that we have there is for Hacienda staff. We want them to be able to use the cars for anything work-related to get their mileage reimbursement rates down. So hopefully Hacienda is able to save some money with that. But one of their admin positions, so she actually just got an electric car because she was so excited about it. She was learning about it. She thought, it's time for me to get a new car, might as well try a used Nissan Leaf.
Nice. Oh yeah, so now you've been around long enough that you can find a used one here and there.
So they're getting off their initial leases and they're becoming a lot more affordable.
Great. That's super. So Drive Oregon itself, you said it's for stakeholders and people interested in it. How do you have memberships in this organization? How does that work?
Yeah, so we do have memberships. Anyone from Honda, for example, can be a member, or a student, anybody. If you're interested in electric cars and you want to learn more about this space, you should definitely check out our website, driveoregon.org, to learn more.
What would you get out of being a member? What would be the benefits of it?
So monthly networking events. We host them at our JLR space, and we have different themes every month. So maybe utilities. We had one recently with Travel Oregon that was interesting, and how we're partnering with them. And then there's food and drinks involved, and just the networking and mingling.
Which is always a good thing, a little bit of networking. Okay, that sounds good. So if people are interested in trying out an electric car, say they just want to try one out for a weekend and see if it might be right for them to actually purchase one, what would you suggest that they do?
I suggest that they come downtown to Portland. If they're in the Portland area, we're opening up a showcase. It's at the World Trade Center.
Oh, yeah.
And you can go in and you can learn all about electric cars in a space that's a little bit safer or easier to do because there's not going to be dealers there. So you can actually
so they're not trying to sell you, right?
Exactly. We're not trying to sell you a specific electric car. We're just trying to tell you and inform you about the benefits.
That's nice.
And you
That's
can even
nice.
do ride and drives, and you're able to rent the cars as well.
That's great, because people get very intimidated by salespeople sometimes, you know.
It is.
Some of
It's
them are
intimidating.
awesome and wonderful, but some of
Yeah.
them, there's pressure there, and just to be able to check it out without that pressure would be wonderful.
And it's not just cars. We also have electric bikes. There's scooters, motorcycles.
Wow, okay.
There's a lot.
That's great, wonderful. So it's the whole electric vehicle industry.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Alexa.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate This is
much.
very interesting. I had no idea, and I love the idea of being able to check things out ahead of time at your showcase. And is that open now?
It opens May 1st.
May 1st, wonderful. Okay, thanks so very much.
Thank you.
You bet. And thank you for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. Do check out their website. We should have the information on the screen if you want some more information, and maybe you can get a hold of Alexa and ask her some questions. But don't go away. We have lots more of Community Hotline coming up.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.